That's what's
Okay.
up. That's what's up. So yeah, man, I'm gonna give you, my story. Y'all heard my brother yesterday, and it's crazy because we got totally opposite stories. So I'm gonna start with my story, and here we go. My name's Brandon, by the way, Brandon Elston. I'm 23, just turned 23, June 14th. Hold on.
Well, you ain't 23. You wish you was 23.
I'm sorry, 33. It's the morning. It's 8 o'clock over here. I just literally got it. I'm wiping sleep out my eyes. I apologize. 33, man. 33.
It's 3 hours difference. So go early here.
All right, let me pull up my notes real quick. Okay, so my name's Brandon Elston Jermaine. Siblings. I got an older brother, as you see, two older brothers. You seen one yesterday, Sean Elston and Todd Elston Jr. I have 3 kids. One is 15. That's my oldest. Her name is Olivia. My son is 11. He's a junior, Brandon Elston, and my youngest is 4. Her name is Paisley Monroe. She's a loud wire. She's like, my dad called her a wrecking ball. That's exactly what she is. But she's smart, and caring and all that as well. So, but yeah, growing up, man, was simple. I had we had vacations, played sports. I wrestled. I played football, basketball. I was really into wrestling, WWE. I was into that early, and actually I started wrestling a little bit after that. My dad signed me up, so that was pretty cool. As a teenager, I went to Penn Hills. My best friend, his name is Michael Washington. He has mental issues. He went to jail and, came home not right. You see what I'm saying? Long story short, he did 10 years in jail, but when he came home, his mental was destroyed. He got a daughter he maybe seen once out of 5 years of her life. And it's just all bad for him. Right now, he's currently locked up, just because his mental issues and other things going on. But long story short, that jail definitely do something to you, absolutely, mentally, physically. That's why it's a lose-lose regardless. But yeah, I grew up with ADHD, I was aggressive, growing up, always fighting, I went to alternative school for a while, had my first daughter at 17, pretty young. My teenage years, man, I was just, just aggressive. I was just aggressive kid, got into trouble, I'm gonna be real, got into trouble fighting and on the streets and all that. I was never, somebody just to go pick a fight with somebody, just a stranger or somebody I don't know, or just picking on somebody or bullying somebody. That was never me. I just had a mouth. I didn't know how to communicate with people. And, that elevated different things, so that's why I always kind of, got in trouble in school and fights and all that, but as I transition into adulthood, one thing you got to learn is, if you're thinking about working on yourself, my advice would ask people around you on what do they think of you, or think of a certain situation, or think how you handle a certain situation, because at the end of the day, you personally, you're not going to notice how you handle a certain situation or the way you react to a certain situation, because it's you. So getting a standpoint from somebody around you just give you more clarity on how you move, because technically you're not going to really, you might see how you move, but you're not going to have a perspective on how you move because it's you, so it's always good to get, a friend, one of your best friends, a family member, they give a perspective on on you, or what you think you did wrong, or, you know, if you're trying to elevate, you know. But that's a little bit of advice. So, you know, going into adulthood, you know, I always worked, you know, I always had a job, always had held down a job. You know, I was at my first job was in the mall, Charlie Subs. You know, I worked at I met my wife at Long John Silver's in Penn Hills, Wendy's, all types of jobs. You know what I mean? I just always, even my dad had a roofing company when I was like 13, you know, start working with him. I always wanted to make a dollar, you know what I mean? Any means, I always wanted to stay busy. And, you know, so I always had a job, you know, but yeah, I always had a job, you know, but, you know, then getting that hung with the wrong crowd, you know, I would never put my mistakes on anybody else, but you guys got to understand the people you hang around, the music you take in, even the movies you watch influences you heavily. You know, you might not even know it or think about it. Like, you might be like, oh, well, I'm not trying to be like him, but you're around him all day, every day. So he might be doing something negative, it's going to rub off on you. So you have to watch who you're around, and what you're, you know, what you're ingesting into your body, into your soul, because it absolutely rubs off on you. You know, but, you know, as you know, I graduated high school, you know, I start working, and then that's when I kind of transitioned into the streets, you know, start selling drugs. You know, I went to West Virginia, you know, I was up there for a while, selling drugs and, you know, getting into trouble and all types of nonsense. And then, long story short, one day, you know, my wife and I and my son, what, maybe 2 months, you know, they kicked in my door, feds kicked in my door, you know, and came and got me, you know, one of the scariest days in my life, because for one, the reason it being scary is I didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? I'm 20, 22 at the time. I don't know what's going on. I didn't even think I was doing that much for the feds to even watch me or to look at me. So when they came 30 deep with ARs and all types of weapons and guns and you know, in their arms and all that, you know what I mean? I'll be real. I didn't know what was going on. You see what I'm saying? And then my wife, you know, her being confused, my baby upstairs asleep. It was just crazy, you know. So yeah, that's why I was so scared. It wasn't really the aspect of the police and getting arrested and going to jail, because I mentally prepared myself for that day if it, you know, was ever to happen. So it was just, you know, the whole process, my wife being scared, her crying and all that. So long story short, you know, I get arrested, get out, you know, now I'm waiting for trial. Now I got to wake up every morning knowing I got to go to jail for, I don't even know how long. That was another frustrating part, you know, about that process as well, especially when you get out on bond. You just know every day you wake up that you're going back to jail. You don't know for how long, you know, but you know you're going back, and you know you ain't gonna be home for a while, and you know you just had a brand new baby, you know, that your wife needs you, your family needs you. So, you know, that was rough. So long story short, you know, I end up going to jail. You know, did the time. The time was rough for me mentally, you know, physically. Like I said, I prepared myself for, you know, the worst case scenario in there physically, you know, which, you know, of course I got into, you know, some scuffles and different things in jail. It's to the point, like, in jail, you can die over somebody you don't even know. Like that's the craziest part. Like, so in jail, it's not like all Pittsburgh people, you know what I mean? It's not. It's Pittsburgh people, it's California people, it's Florida people, it's New Orleans, it's all over the United States of America. And, and it's just pretty much one big game. If you're from Pittsburgh and somebody does something wrong that's from Pittsburgh, you got to pay for it, no matter if you know him or not. But you're from Pittsburgh, so now you're in it. So if he is over there fighting on another unit, you cannot even know him. You cannot even know they're fighting over there. But somebody from his gang that's on your unit can already have the word and already be on you, waiting for you to wake up or waiting for you to make a certain move so they can stab you or beat you up or jump you or whatever. So it's like your life is in somebody's hands consistently all day, every day, when you're in the feds. And I didn't go to the state penitentiary. I was in a federal penitentiary. So at the end of the day, it's two different systems. But the rappers don't mention that, when they rapping and talking about killing and selling drugs. And then, by the way, I hope you guys know, that's just like, what wrestling is, like WWE, like they jumping off the rope and punching each other, fake punching each other. That's what the rap game is. It's entertainment, 100%, 1,000% entertainment. And, our kids and me included, get wrapped up into the lyrics and listen and want to hold on to their every word. But they're wrestling. Like there is entertainment, 100%. It's like a movie. You see what I'm saying? So they're really baiting us in. We're thinking it's real. And they went out and went to go fight this dude or shot this dude and getting us all pumped up. Meanwhile, they're in a mansion like this with their feet up, watching us go crazy on YouTube and Facebook, fighting each other, killing each other. It's a whole system. So, you have to understand that. You have to grasp that, because, it just destroys our youth. Not saying don't listen to it. I still listen to rap music. I let my son listen to rap music, but I guarantee you, he can tell you that it's fake. I guarantee you, he can tell you that it's not real. You see what I'm saying? I guarantee you, he won't act on nothing he's hearing in his rap music, because he knows it's a fake and it's a fraud. You know what I mean? So that's what you need to get to a point. If you're going to listen to it, you just need to understand that at the end of the day, it's like a movie. It's like Spider-Man shooting his string on a building and swinging off of buildings. Y'all not doing that. Y'all can't do that. You see what I'm saying? It's entertainment. So, you know what I mean? Just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Be your own person. Move on your own accord. You ain't got to follow nobody. Just follow your heart and God. That's it. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, so before, let me reverse. So I went to jail, but before I went to jail, I used the money, to buy a candy store and 2 houses, because my mindset was to, while I'm gone, how can I still provide for my family and still make sure I'm good in there? Because me personally, when that happened to me, when I got locked up, I can't even remember if I told my parents or not, but anytime I got in trouble, I never mentioned it to my parents. They found out some way. You see what I'm saying? Or I was forced to tell them or something, because at the end of the day, I'm moving on my own accord. I don't want to bring them into my BS. You see what I'm saying? That's my BS. Even though they're my parents, I know they're going to be there for me, you know what I mean, regardless. But at the end of the day, it's my BS. And what people don't understand, it's a trickle effect. Like it's a trickle effect. One of the main things that really hurt my soul in jail wasn't like the fights or me having to sleep with my boots on because it's on, we beefing with Ohio or we, me fighting. Man, there's all types of things that happened. It wasn't none of that. It was me going to court and seeing my son saying, "Daddy, you coming home?" Looking back, I'm looking back at him and he said, "Dad, you coming? Come on, we coming home." Like, killed me, like destroyed me. Like, my daughter coming up there calling another man daddy, killed me. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's bigger than you. You have to know that it's always going to be bigger than you. It's always going to be a trickle effect. It's always going to be somebody that's doing the time with you or is going to be hurting alongside with you. You have to remember that, your actions affects a whole bunch of people. It does. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Especially if you're loved and you got friends and family and all that, it's going to affect other people 100% of the time. Because now if something happened to you, you go to jail or something, you're in trouble. Now your mom, your dad got to come up with bond money. Now they got to go to court hands with you. Now you don't know if you're going to jail. Now, you know what I mean? It's just a trickle effect that they're your parents, so they're going to be concerned for you. Now you're putting extra stress on them. So you can't never say, all right, well, I'm doing the time. I got in trouble. I'm going to go do the time by myself. No, it don't work like that. It just don't. So, yeah. So, when I started,
Okay,
no, go ahead, Pop. Go ahead.
No, if you want to take some questions or you want to continue, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Shoot some questions. Yep.
Okay, who got some questions? You can ask him anything.
Anything.
Go ahead. Make sure you speak up.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
She didn't say yet. Somebody else is ready. Go ahead.
What's your job now?
My job right now, I am a contractor, licensed contractor. I fix houses, I do kitchens, remodel bathrooms, basements, yeah, name it, I do it. Taught myself a craft, a skill.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a licensed contractor. I build houses like kitchens, bathrooms, basements, you name it. Anything that has to do with a house, I'm involved with. I got my own business now, so it's this transition, out of the street life into business life and all that. So that's what I currently do right now.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Would you say going to jail is traumatic? Well, the first time going was traumatic.
I'm sorry. What did she say?
Was your first time going to jail traumatic?
What's your first time going to jail traumatic?
Mentally, yes. Mentally, yes, because like I said, I thought I prepared myself. I'm not going to say I always thought I was going to go to jail, but anything you do in life, you got to stand on that. Like you can't, like that's you. That's 100% you. You can't put that on your parents. You can't put that on your best friend. You can't put that on your goldfish. You got to stand on that 100%. So if you decide to make a decision, you need to be prepared to handle the consequences. So I felt like I was prepared to handle jail physically, but I didn't know the emotional stress, it would put on me. And the emotion, when I say emotional stress, 100% my family. It wasn't emotional stress like me. When am I going to get out? Or dang, I'm tired of this. Or I need to go ahead and get out. Or I need to find. No, it was solely my mom, my dad, my wife, and my kids. You know what I mean? My grandma and all that. So it was just the stress I was putting on them. So yeah, it was definitely did something to me.
Good question. Somebody else? Ask anything.
How long were you in jail for?
The first time, a year and a half. The second time, about 2 years.
All right, somebody else? Go ahead.
What made you change your life around?
Man, just opening my eyes, opening my eyes, maturing, just noticing, how everybody was moving around me, because typically, I deal with an older crowd, and everybody was in jail. You see what I'm saying? So I always had examples, good and bad examples, and I always, compare and contrast them. But ultimately, man, what made me change my family, my wife, my kids, like I have to be here, I have to be here to support them and take care of them and love them and raise them right. You know what I'm saying? Making sure they're not making the mistakes I made. And as you get older and your eyes open up and you get more mature, you understand that. You see what I'm saying? more so than you did when you was younger. So that's what just opened my eyes up, my family, me just wanting to be here to take care of them.
Did you have any problems opening your company even though you were a ex-convict?
Did I have any problems doing what?
Opening your company even though you were an ex-convict.
She said,
Can you repeat that?
Did you have any problems opening a company being an ex-convict?
No, I didn't because, that's one of the things that, people do when they do have a felony, because it is very hard to get a job. And that was another concern for me, when I was getting out. It is hard to get a good job being a felon. So me, like, I shot for the moon. I didn't know what was going to come of it. Me, I'm a risk taker. So, I just shot for the moon, opened up my company. I didn't go to school. I pretty much self-taught myself everything, and and yeah, that was that. But no, it wasn't hard. Just opened up the LLC, created a business name, and put the work and effort into it. And 5 days later, it's still up and running.
Miles? Go ahead.
How old was you when you first went to jail?
I was 22 years old. 22 years old. Just I want to say maybe 3 months before I had a son. So I had a newborn pretty much when I left.
Can't believe none of the boys got questions. Just the girls got questions.
Yeah, man, y'all got to speak up, man. What's up? What's on y'all mind, bro?
So y'all sitting back there acting like y'all don't hear what he's saying. Y'all should have more questions than the girls. I'll be honest, not the girls don't get caught up in this mess, because they do, especially today. But y'all sitting back there like, that'll never happen to me. Trust me, it could happen to you, it could happen to your brother, your daddy, it could happen to somebody in your family. So y'all need to come up with some questions. Because this is real talk.
Come on, fellas, what you got?
From many programs, you're just not.
Go ahead. He got a question, Dad. The one sitting right there in the front.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say your mental state was when you first got out?
What was your mental state when you first got out?
My mental state when I first got out was, I'm not never going back. I need to switch it up. I need to find something that's going to work for me, because this is not an option at all. Not even close. Like it's just not. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, had to switch it up. Had to do something different. You know what I mean? That's when I started working, cooking. When I got out, actually both times. No, the second time I got out, I think my dad got me a cleaning job. But the first time I got out, I was working at Denny's. I was just trying to stay out the way. But where I failed was I was around the same people the first time I got out. So, I got out. And I mean, and it's weird because I mean, literally, I was sitting in jail with these guys, and I'm telling, oh, what we gonna do when we get out? I'm like, yo, I'm chilling, I'm working. You know what I mean? One of my other boys like, man, I'm right back to it. You know what I mean? My other boy like, I'm right back to it too. Like, and then when we get on the street, I'm hanging around these guys, and I'm working, but they pulling up in all types of crazy cars and doing stuff. So like, that's why I try to tell you that the company you keep is going to influence you, regardless if you know it or not. So you just got to be mindful on who you be around, and always think for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta always think for yourself. You know what I mean? You can't rely on somebody else to think for you. And also I want to mention too is, I believe 100% that, we all can break generational curses. Generational curse can be anything, it can be anything. You see what I'm saying? Anything that your generation before, your parents, your aunt, your uncle, you didn't like, or you feel like needs switched, break it, change it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's easy, but it can be done. The same trauma your parents went through, your grandma went through, your cousin, your aunt, that don't have to exist for you. You can change the narrative on your life. All you guys have control of your life. Don't never think that. You see what I'm saying? It solely depends on the decisions you make on your future. And that's where your future is going to be at. So I just don't want y'all to think that past issues with family will hinder you from being successful or doing what you want, because it shouldn't, you know, because you're your own person. Your own decisions is going to shape your future.
Okay. Yeah, she got a question over here. Speak up.
Did your,
Go ahead. Wait, you got it.
How did you start your business?
How did you
So
start?
So the way I started my business, originally I got on with a company, and the way I started, that's how I came to the realization. This guy, he paid me, I want to say I was making about $15 an hour. So it might have took me about 2 hours. So he paid me $30 to take down this wall, but then he charged his client about $300 to take down the wall. So once I seen that, but at the end of the day, that's just business. You know, that's how business work. You know, but when I seen that, you know, I smartened up a little bit. Like, hold on, I can do this myself and make all the money instead of, you know, giving majority of it to my boss. So that's when my wheels start turning. After that, I made the LLC. My grandma's house, she needed her kitchen and dining room remodeled. So that was kind of my first project. So I started with that. And then from there, man, I just studied and you know, sharpened my craft every day. And you know, that just took off from there.
Go ahead.
How long did it
Let's speak up.
How long would it fully take to open your business?
How long did it take me to open?
Yeah, how long did it take to open your business?
Not long. It doesn't take long. That's one thing about a business. If you have the idea, literally you can go open up your business. You know, it's about acting on it and putting things together. But not long at all, man. If you got the idea, then you can literally file for an LLC. You know, that's to protect your company and to brand your company. And that's that, bro. You can literally go home right now and start a company with whatever idea you have. But I mean, you got to make sure you put the work in and make sure it's going to work for you, and do the proper research beforehand. Before you know, file for your LLC, you know. But other than that, you know, it don't take much at all. Just a thought, really, you know, a plan and execute on it.
Nice.
if you weren't earning your business, what would you be doing now? Like if you didn't have a business?
In a real estate, I guess that is a business as well. But I bought my first properties at 22. When I was 22, actually, I got indicted, and then I got out, and then I bought a candy store in Homestead, and then I bought 2 houses in Wilmerding. And to this day, I have one of those houses, and that was 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when I was 22. So honestly, I feel like I would still have some type of business. That's just how my brain works. I don't like the fact that you can work for a company for 20 years, 30 years, and they can just fire you just because the owner had a bad day, or he got an argument with his wife, or they're looking to cut the budget. Like my life don't work like that. I don't like depending on people like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like I still would have built some type of company, some type of business. But then again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with working for somebody. I did it half my life, you know what I mean? You just got to find what works for you, you know what I mean? And that doesn't work for me, you know, working for somebody. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
If you were talking to your younger self right now, what would you say to him?
If you was talking to your younger self, what would you say to him?
I would say right now, I would say invest. Well, you know what? I wouldn't even say invest because I invested pretty early. I would have told myself, find a mentor. A mentor at, you know, a good mentor, a mentor that's on the right track and know what to do with businesses and money and different you know, just have advice. That's always good to have somebody to call for advice, or if you're second guessing your opinion, you know, run it past them. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Definitely wish I would have found when I say a mentor, I'm saying like financially, not like a life mentor, because I feel like I had a whole bunch of those. I had examples. I had my dad telling me, my mom telling me, but at the end of the day, we all going to do what we want to do. You see what I'm saying? We have to learn our way, you know what I mean, for most of us. And most of the time, that's the hard way. So I'm not going to sit here and say a mentor as far as life lessons. I'm talking about financial mentor. Because right now I'm speaking, you know, I'm telling you my story. A lot of it is going to go in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. You guys, you know, kids, you're younger, and that's just what it is. But I guarantee you, if you know something happened, or you know, an issue occur, you know, you're going to think about this conversation, and you may think twice about what you're going to do. You might not. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's in the air. You know, and we're talking about it, and you guys need to know exactly what these streets is offering, which is absolutely nothing but death or jail. You know what I mean? I know it's cliche. I know everybody say that, but I mean, it's the truth. I'm living proof. I'm living proof that your actions affect other people. Like, to the point, I'm gonna tell you, my dad might not even notice. He probably don't. You know what I mean? He probably don't. But this is a prime example of how your actions affect other people. When I was 18, 19, just had my daughter in the streets, driving around. I'm in Homewood. By the way, I'm from Homewood. That's where I, you know, grew up at, getting a lot of mischief at and all that. So, you know, I pulls up on a dude that I was beefing with in school. You know what I mean? Pulls up on him. We had some words. He runs or whatever. But later on in the day, I'm driving down Penn Avenue with my daughter in the back. You see what I'm saying? In a car seat. And he sees my car and he starts shooting at me. You know what I mean? Like, that's a prime example of your actions affects everybody you're around. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I would have did if something would have happened. Like, I would have lost it. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it happened. You see what I'm saying? And that was a wake up call too. Like, you know, it's just you have to be aware of your actions. And then it's like, okay, I initiated. I pulled up on him first. You see what I'm saying? So it's like all he was doing was reacting. You know what I mean? Not saying it was right or wrong, but he was reacting to, you know, the way I was reacting. And he caught me slipping. Like, I'm in the car with my daughter. So you really, really got to be mindful, like, you know what I mean, on what you're doing. And it happens every day. You know what I mean? Like, it happens every day. You know, just the other day, a baby got shot and killed. You know what I mean? A girl got shot in her face. That's because of somebody else's, not problem, but somebody else's issues. That wasn't meant for them. I'm 100% sure that bullet wasn't meant for that baby. You know what I mean? But, you know, the actions that you take, man, it has effect on everybody around you, you know? So you got to be mindful, man. You got to be mindful.
Right.
So what was it like the first night?
What was the first night in jail like?
Man, it was hectic, man. It was hectic, man. It was like, man, I can't believe this. I'm really in here. I'm in jail with a whole bunch of men. I was just literally just laying next to my wife. You know what I mean? I was just able to get up and eat whatever I want. I was able to do whatever. But now I'm not. I'm laying in this hard rack, this hard metal bed. I'm eating. I don't even know what I'm eating for lunch and dinner. It's just, I don't even know. It's just on the tray. Like, but you got to eat it because you're hungry. So the first, yeah, it was shady. I'm gonna be real. It wasn't a nice feeling. You know what I mean? It wasn't a nice feeling. Like, and then you just got a whole bunch of people around you that's doing 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You know what I mean? People just got time to do. So at the end of the day, when you come in there with a smaller time frame that you got to do, some people don't want to see you go home. Like literally, you can't tell people your release date because they'll try to mess it up and try to get you more time. Like that's the atmosphere you're living in 24/7. Ain't no doors where I was, wasn't no doors, none of that. So anytime I got into some beef, guess what I had to do? I had to sleep with my shoes on. I had to have somebody stand outside my jail cell and watch so nobody run up on me. We had to take shifts. All right, bro, go ahead. You sleep for an hour or two. He wake me up and then I'll hop on that. Like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, that's inhumane, man. Like, you see what I'm saying? Just because I know I just got into it with dude down the hall, and he can bend on me with a knife, anything, a lock in a sock, anything at any given time. So you just got to be on point. So that first night, you know, it just a lot of stuff was running through my mind. I was mentally preparing myself for the show. So yeah, it was stressful.
Right.
When did you get married?
You want to know, when did you get married?
I got married at 22 years old. Right before I went to jail. You know, and it's funny because all my friends was making fun of me. Oh, you getting married, you young, and boop boop. And 2-3 years later, they did the same thing. You know, like same thing, got married, all of them. So, but yeah, next question.
Did you make any friends in jail that you still remember to this day?
Did you make any friends in jail that you're friends with till today?
Yeah, I did. A couple of them, but one's in jail doing like 20 years. The other one, you know, he's on the street. But I'm not like super close to him because I mean, like I said, like some people stay stagnant mentally, you know, and some people grow. And when you grow, you're going to lose people. You know, when you evolve and mature, people's going to fall off. That's okay. That's how it works. But you know, I can't be. I'm on a different level mentally. You know, so I can't be where I was 10 years ago. Not saying dealing with them will put me back in that space because I'm told somewhere totally different. But sometimes you just got to change your scenery, your friends, and all that to elevate and to become who you want to become. You know, because it can be a hindrance. You know, some of your friends can be a hindrance. You know what I mean? There can be friends that always need something, always begging for something. Every time they in trouble, they calling you. And see, I was that friend, and I had to learn to separate that. I was always that friend where, you know, you messing with my friend, I'm punching on you. You know what I mean? I'm punching on you. Or you messing with somebody I love, I'm punching on you. But at the end of the day, that somebody I love, what did you do to them? You see what I'm saying? What happened? Like, what was the sin? Why are you into it with him? So now you might have did something to him. Now I'm inheriting your beef. Now I got more beef. Now I got to watch my back because of what my friends' actions or something they did. I'm trying to protect them. So you just got to watch, man. You just can't really put your neck on the line for everybody. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the issues I had growing up. I always felt like I need to be Superman, like, and step up for my friends and fight every battle. Like, it don't work like that. People got to fight their own battles. I mean, it's okay to help out, not saying that, but it's not okay to be mixed up in somebody else's BS. It's just not.
Okay, your brother wanted to jump on, so he's listening to it. So
Okay.
he sent me a request to jump on, so he's listening to you talk. Give me another question.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to say something, but he got it. He's on mute right now, but he's on.
All right, so I'll if there's no more questions, I could continue.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, hold on, let me pull up my notes. All right, so yeah, so we already talked about me coming home, and it was hard to find work. That's one of the main reasons I started my businesses. I got a couple businesses, but my experience in jail, I told you that it was rough. I don't recommend it for nobody at all. Like not even my worst enemy. So it's like inhumane. So just know that. All the jail stories you guys heard about, and I'm sure it's true. Like in the counties, even worse. To be real, let's double back, because that's where you will go before anything, before you even go to the federal system or the state system. The county downtown, ACJ, that I know you all heard about, and I'm pretty sure you probably know somebody that was in there or in there right now. It's probably one of the worst places to be, way worse than where I was at. And I was down there for 7-8 months. You don't get to see outside. Like, you don't get to see no trees. All you hear is cars beeping. You don't get to walk outside. None of that. Your food, you get 3 trays. There's mystery meat, like commissaries have. There's a lot of young boys down there just robbing you. So you do go to the commissary, they gonna be right behind you, and 3 or 4 of them gonna run in your cell and try to take your commissary. You get one TV that 30 people's watching. Majority of the time you're locked in your cell, so you can't even come out to watch TV. Majority of the time it's called 24-hour lockdown, where they lock the jail down. And it's just rough, man. People, and then on top of that, you got people that's on the street that was beefing on the street, and then they come in there and see each other. So now they're fighting, they're stabbing each other. It's a jungle, absolute jungle. And the average person, I mean, it's going to get real. You're going to get taken advantage of down there, without a doubt. They smell it. They absolutely smell it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real. I didn't have no issues down there. I can't tell you why I did or I didn't have no issues, but I didn't have no issues down there. Just because I was me. I just was me. I didn't try to be hard. I didn't try to act like I was a millionaire, or I didn't do none of that. I was me. But a lot of people go down there with the procession thinking, oh, I gotta act hard, I gotta act a certain way. They sniff that out, man. They will sniff that out, and they're coming for your cookies, your soups, your whatever. They coming. So and like I said, that's the first step. That's before you even get to the big dog, where you get a whole bunch of different inmates really killing each other and really fighting and all that. So that ACJ life is not where it's at, man. And then on top of that, it's just, there's no books, no nothing. Like, you get one phone call. The phone calls is $5 a phone call. So you're trying to call home. So just imagine that you're trying to call home every day. That's $5 a call. You're trying to eat good. That's the $1.50. The little 25-cent packs of noodles, $1.50. Don't worry about it. $1.50 down there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to spend a check, and who has that check? You know what I mean? Hopefully you was good to your mom and your dad, or your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, your brother, somebody. Because if you ain't got no check down there, you're gonna starve. You're gonna starve. Your ribs is going to show. So it's just not. It's not life, man. It's just not where you want to be. And then, like I said, that's the beginning That's just the beginning stages, because you're going to sit down there for 6 months to a year going to court. Then after you go to court and get sentenced, now you got to get on a bus or an airplane and go to your main jail. You see what I'm saying? Where they're waiting for you with R&D clothes and rules and regulations. And don't be no snitch. Like, you know what I mean? Don't go to jail being no. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're gonna get in this game, you're gonna have to stand on that. They're gonna make you stand on that. Ain't no option. You gonna have to stand on everything you did. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be in the streets, you hard and shooting guns, you got to know that when stuff hit the fan, you're gonna have to stand on that. Ain't no guns in jail. None. There's just knives and soap in the sock and your fist. That's it. So, you know what I mean? People thinking they tough because they can pull a weapon and shoot somebody from 10 feet or 15 feet. No, you're a coward at the end of the day. Like, anybody can shoot anybody, but not anybody's just going to go up to somebody and punch them or fight or defend themselves. I promise you that. They're going to pick something up or a weapon. So for the people that think they're tough and I'm hard, because no, you're really stupid, because you're going to shoot somebody, you're going to kill them. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get caught. Or if you don't kill them, you're going to go to jail for attempted homicide. And now you got a whole slew of problems, because from the beginning, you was already a punk because you're using a gun. So now you're going in jail and there ain't no gun. So now you got to fight. Every situation you got to fight, and you already can fight. So it's going to get bad for you. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact, people don't think about that. You see what I'm saying? They don't think about that. Oh, I don't fight. I just shoot. Okay. You're right. Okay. So you just got to keep that in your mind. You know what I mean? You have to. It's a trickle effect with everything. There's cause and effect to everything. Every decision you make, there is an effect. So you just have to be mindful. You know, and it's gonna come with age. As you grow older and get more mature, it's gonna come. It's not gonna come right now. I don't expect y'all to get this right now. I don't expect y'all to really like take heed to what I'm saying right now. But I guarantee you, when you run into an issue or a situation, you're gonna think about this conversation. So yeah. So pretty much. So I mean, that's my life. You know, I got out of jail the second time. My dad got me, he got me a job, and I was working for $12 an hour or something like that. And then, I got another job doing construction, and I was working both of those jobs for about a year. And then, that's when I started my own company, and just grinding, studying. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't go to no college. I didn't go to no 4-year program. Didn't go to no 2-year program. None of that. I was just determined, and I had work ethic, and I taught myself a skill that I can use across anywhere, across the planet. I can go to Jamaica right now, and I'm sure I'll be able to make a living off of my skill. So, I just, perfected that craft. But in the meantime, in between time, I was also in real estate. So, I had that cushion as well. But after I got out, I was 27 or 28 or something like that. So, I was a little bit more mature, and I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew that I needed to stay on the street. I knew I need to find something I can get into on the street. So that's what I did. I just worked, crazy, perfecting my craft, and hiring people, firing people, getting jobs, messing up jobs, trial and error, doing good job. Like, it's all it's all a process. So, that was the process. But,
Right.
Story short,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Tell them why you moved to Las Vegas. Just kind of wrap it up with that. Why you moved to Las Vegas.
Yeah. So, long story short. So, I moved out here a year ago with my family, moved my family out here a year ago. And that's solely off of my business and, me doing construction. And me personally, I just needed a change of scenery. I grew up in Pittsburgh. A year ago, I was rats was my bid mates or my roommates, so to speak. Like I was running around at night trying to kill rats a year ago. You know what I'm saying? But now, I'm in Vegas. I'm living in Vegas. So with me saying that, a lot can change within a year. You know what I'm saying? A lot can change within 6 months. But you just got to be determined and have your head on the swivel. But yeah, right now, I'm in a real estate. I moved my company out here, and it's been doing good. I got a couple other businesses. I got a online store. I do Forex trading. I do a lot. You know what I mean? I do a lot. I got a couple businesses going on right now. So I just working every day. You know what I mean? Taking care of my kids, man. And that's pretty much it.
All right, well, we want to thank you. I don't know if your brother want to say something or not, or if he just want to listen in. So he got his thing muted. But anybody got any closing, any closing questions or remarks or any
and for the guys, Dad, I just wanted to throw this out here too. For the guys, man, I'm here, bro. I can give you my number if you need somebody to talk to. You know what I mean? That conversation stays between me and you. You see what I'm saying? That won't go nowhere. You know what I mean? I would recommend it. I would recommend you find somebody to talk to, because us as Black men, we always want to hold stuff in and don't want to talk about it. And that can hurt you mentally, and it can bottle up and explode into something negative. So what I've learned as I mature is you need somebody to talk to, man. Somebody that's on the same, wavelength as you, that can help you out, and give you good advice. I got plenty of mentors. I got at least 5-6 mentors that I use for different situations. You always need somebody to talk to, man, or it will build up and explode at some point. So I'm here, man. Shoot, if I don't answer on the first one, or just text me, and I guarantee you I get back to you, and we can bust it up about whatever you want to. You know what I mean? And it stays between me and you. I just want to make sure you guys is making the right decisions, man. Because you don't got to make decisions on your own. You don't have to. You really don't.
All right, what's your number, Brandon?
412-225-5139. And don't be afraid, man. Hit me with a text or a phone call, whatever. I don't care what time it is, what it is, what you need. I don't care what it's about. Like I said, it's going to stay between us. You know what I mean? Just use your resources.
All right. If you guys, most of you guys are kind of young, but if you do, I know you go to Vegas sometimes. So you go to Vegas.
And also one more thing that I want to mention.
Okay.
One more thing, real short. So my brother that was just on here yesterday, we got totally 2 separate lives. You see where he went? He went in law enforcement. We both have 2 parents, 2 loving parents. So the stigma of a one household parent, their kids is bad or they're worse than a 2 that's false. It's BS. I'm living proof. It's all about what you're attracted to. It's all about the individual and what they're attracted to and what they want to do. I didn't have to do none of that. I didn't have to be in the streets or none of that. Like, we lived in Penn Hills, you know what I mean? My grandma lived in Homewood, and we lived in Penn Hills. I went to Penn Hills. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have to do. I could have went to college, but I wasn't attracted to that. I could have did the same thing my brother did. You see what I'm saying? I could have get with that route, and I should have went that route. You see what I'm saying? But I wasn't attracted to that. So it has nothing to do with, my dad wasn't there. It was just my mom. My dad been man, they've been there. Day one, football game, wrestling, everything I can think of, been there. Absolutely supportive. So I don't want you guys like, oh, since my dad is not there or my mom's not there or they're not supportive, that you need to move a certain way. No, that's not the case. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to leave you guys with.
Well, everybody, thank Brandon for taking time out of your day. Talk to you guys, give you guys some real talk. Like I said, it was going to be real. You know, jail is real. You know, no, nobody, you guys are all underage. Some of you guys are 18. Do something out there. You can end up in that situation that Brandon's talking about. And I hope and pray that none of you guys have to experience that. Because some people come out, like you said, they're totally ruined. You know, everybody don't come out and have opportunity to move on and change their life for the better and talk to young kids. Some people come out and they're mentally ruined. Jail is not built, everybody ain't built for jail. I'll put it to you like that. Everybody's not built for jail. So don't take what he's saying for granted. Don't say, okay, I'm still gonna go out there and I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. If I happen to go to jail, I'm gonna come out and then I'm gonna straighten my life out. Everybody don't have that opportunity. Like you said.
Yeah, and you making it out of jail is not a guarantee. I just want to throw that out there. That is not a guarantee at all.
Yep. So, all right, Brandon.
All right, y'all take care, man, and you know, fellas, get at me if y'all need me. All right.
All right. I'll see you next week.
All right. All right. Bye.
You all up in my business.